Hey guys, welcome back to K Talk. We're your host. I'm Mel.
And I'm Uma. Hi, everyone. On today's after show, we are taking a first look at My Dearest Nemesis.
Yay!
You're excited for this one?
I am.
Okay, so let's see. The synopsis for My Dear Nemesis, right? Bak Soo-jung leads a planning team at a renowned department store. She meets her new boss, Bon Joo-yeon, her first love from an online game 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Stirring up memories of when he confessed his feelings and she rejected him.
Yes. My Dearest Nemesis stars Moon Ga-young, who plays Bak Soo-jung, Choi Hyun-wook, who plays Ban Joo-yeon, and we also have Im Se-mi, who plays So Ha-jin, and Kwak Si-yang, who plays Kim Shin-won.
This rom-com is so fun right now.
It is. And you know, I'm not big on rom-coms. That's not my favorite genres in K-dramas. So, but I'm really pleasantly surprised. I'm loving this one.
It's so entertaining and humorous. And,
it is.
You know, it's a little tense at times, but I love the whole like enemies to lovers trope, and it's delivering on that.
It is. I am so into it. I'm
right?
so surprised.
You know, honestly, I couldn't even, I was scared. I almost did not get past the first episode for the series because I don't like when they gamify things.
Oh my God, same. And that's when I was like, oh God, is it going to be one of those shows? But then I got through the first episode and the second one was really good and it just got better as it went on. Yeah.
Every episode was better than the first one, which is weird because everybody online was raving about how they were hooked from the first episode. It's one of the best first episodes this year. And I'm like, are we watching the same show?
Yeah, because definitely not the first episode. No.
I mean, I know that it had to be done because they do meet, right? Like our characters, our main leads meet in this online game.
Yes.
And they kind of get to know each other, become friends, low-key fall in love with one another.
Yeah.
And then they all decide to meet up in person because it's a group game, right? Them and all the players. They're like on this little team. And when they meet up, they realize that, what's his name? Black Dragon?
Yes, Black Dragon.
Black Dragon, our male lead, lied about his age, and he's actually like 15 years old, where is it Soo-jung? Yeah, Soo-jung is 19 at this point. So she, in a very dramatic fashion, like rejects him outright in front of everyone.
She literally crashes out.
Embarrasses him. And she's like, no, I'm not having this. Like her heart's broken. Yeah. She said some really harsh words to him. Yeah. Traumatizes him because now we're in present day and he remembers that day vividly.
Yeah, they both do.
They both do.
Yeah.
And they're both rightfully angry at the other one, right? Like she was like, how dare he lie to me? And she feels like her first love experience was, you know, stolen and not as memorable as she had hoped it to be. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, like you can't even say her name to him. Like he's just, I get the feeling that he hasn't even dated.
Yeah, I don't think by the way he's lived his life, I don't think he's even had the time. So,
yeah. So we get to know a little bit about their life. So he is a chaebol.
Before all that, what did you think of Choi Hyun-wook playing this role? Because there's a lot of chatter online, people saying that they don't know if it would be believable, him as like a CEO. But I personally think he's perfect for the role, actually, because although he's playing a CEO, he also has that very childlike part of his personality, which kind of goes well with like his youthfulness and how he looks. So I think he was perfect casting, him and her. I love the actress as well. So
I agree. A lot of people were like, we don't think he can pull it off because his previous roles, he is, you know, I don't even think he was a main character in the other roles that I've seen him, but he's played characters where he's very youthful, very high school, immature, like fun, like you can't take him seriously. So people are like, how are we supposed to believe that he's going to be a CEO now?
Yeah.
But the way that this character is written, he is perfect for it because he's a very young CEO.
Yes.
And he has that fan stan like culture, like, you know,
Yeah.
he's a huge rocker and collects stuffies, and so I think his character fits really well with how this CEO is written.
Yes.
So I think he's perfect for this role.
He is.
But one thing I didn't like is, what was the big deal about like the age gap? Like, I had to actually look them up because I didn't know how old they were, and I was like,
Yeah.
they're like 6 years apart.
They're only 6 years apart. I don't understand that because there's been so many dramas where the male lead has like 10 years on the actress and nobody speaks about that.
Right. Stinks of misogyny.
I know.
I'm like, we can't have a female lead that's just what, a handful of years
Yeah.
older than the male lead.
But they still look good together, still works. People just find
Their
the
chemistry
weirdest
works
thing.
for me.
It
I
does.
don't even see the age gap. And the show itself, they have a 4-year age gap.
Yeah.
No big deal there.
Yeah.
People
And
just
she
need to
still
quit.
looks very youthful as well, right? So
Exactly.
it doesn't look weird.
They're in their 20s.
They are.
Come on. And then, yeah, people were just like, it's not believable. How could she kiss someone? And they made it sound like she was like this 50-year-old woman
Literally.
who kissed a 23-year-old.
Yeah. Didn't understand
It's
that
dumb.
at all. Perfect casting for both.
And I think they play off each other very well.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
So let's get into the story of it. So our Chable, he has a difficult life. He lost his parents early on, and he was raised by his grandmother, who is not the kindest woman, not
she's
very
mean.
loving
She
or
is
maternal.
She is a mean woman. Like, not
The
a
company's
gentle,
more her
maternal
child.
bone in her body.
Yeah, like she sees the company more as like her child than her actual grandkid.
I hope we get to see a flashback. I would love to see how she was with his father. Was she still this mean
I think
person,
she
or
has to have been, because what I don't understand is, how are you a whole grandma and you're blaming the grandchild for a car accident just because they were on their way to spend a day doing something that their kid loves to do? Would she have sold her company if they got into a car accident on his way to work?
That's what I mean. Like, it was a very stupid reason. Yeah.
I get she's hurting, but like, you don't have to hurt and traumatize your grandchild because you don't know how to process. Life is unfair. Like, you lost your child.
Yeah, and you could have lost your grandson as well. So wouldn't you
It's like she resents him for actually surviving.
But then what would you do? There would be no successor.
I don't know. She's just, I don't get characters like her, because I'm like, you're just mean
She's
for
just
nothing.
mean for no reason. That scene where she burnt all his stuff right in front of him was so diabolical.
And
I was
that toy that like his dad had given to him, right?
Yeah.
That was, it was heartbreaking when he was watching through the gate and he was like,
Yeah.
not that one, not that one. And I was like, no.
that-
But this show is giving us everything though. Like, you would think it would
is.
just be fluff, but it's not.
It's not. And that's what I love, a good little sliver of trauma.
I know. So because his grandma is only fixated on creating him to be the successor of, what was their group's name again?
Young Sung?
Young Sung? Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so she's grooming him to be the CEO. He cannot be human at all. He's just a robot. Like, he's studying, he's learning management, like he's just getting the job done all the time. So he hides his personality, essentially. Anything that brings him joy in his life that's not, that has nothing to do with becoming the CEO.
Yeah.
He hides. So he's become very obsessed with living this double life, and
Yeah.
very obsessed with having this image of him where he's just like this no-nonsense director, and you don't really get to see who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And that's where Soojun comes in, because she kind of discovers his double life.
Yes. When I tell you, this girl literally followed him to a rock concert.
Because she
Took
needed
pictures.
to blackmail him.
Yeah, took pictures and was trying to blackmail him with them.
She had to secure her job.
Yeah.
Okay, because she's
By
known
any
as
means
the
necessary.
director killer.
Yeah.
And she gets everybody above her fired because they're incompetent. They can't do their job well. He's the first person that she has to work for that thinks just like her, that is competent.
Yeah.
But they don't like each other because she saw him when they, in that first scene, when they got into the car accident, and he's wearing,
His little rock outfit, yeah.
which is so ridiculous looking to me. It's like, is that how rockers dress? It almost feels like cosplay. with the bandana. It's overkill. It's overkill. And then he's wearing a t-shirt and then plaid shirt around the way. Like, it's very 90s. Like, I get it, but it feels like cosplay because they're overdoing it.
Like a graphic tee and ripped jeans would do enough. Like
would get the job done, right? But no, they had to put the bandana on. They had to like
the glasses.
It's so lame. Girl. I can't take it serious.
It's a whole look. Like, he's really into it.
Like, he could be into the music without having to dress like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But yeah. So anyways, he's scared because she saw him before they realize that they're going to work together.
Yeah.
They've seen each other, and he's worried that his double life is going to be exposed. And he essentially wants to kick her out.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't take the risk. She picks up on that and decides to follow him to another concert and, you know, get pictures and sends it to him.
Yeah.
He looked like he ran to her house.
Literally.
He was sweating. Did you see that? And
yeah.
I'm like, I know you probably drove over. Like, was it the anxiety that made you sweat this much? But
yeah.
He lost his mind and showed up at her house, and she's like, oh my God. Anyways, they strike a deal.
Yeah.
Her job is secured, and she keeps his secret safe. But in doing so, I think, you know, they start to get to know each other, and that's where the romance starts to kick in.
You know what I find so hilarious is, like, every time she sees another part of, like, his double life, is like, it's so cute to see her reaction. She's literally just like so shocked. Like, she's just like, oh, okay.
He's hiding the secret like he's like almost like a serial killer. Like, it's not that serious.
Basically, that's exactly.
She's trying to be like, you like stuffies, okay? You like rock music, so what?
Yeah.
And she even says, like, the clothes are kind of lame, but it's okay. Like, he's just hiding his likes.
Yeah. And she doesn't understand, obviously, like, this is normal stuff. Like, I don't understand why you can't, you know?
But she doesn't know that he can't be a normal kid.
Yeah.
Right? So she's going to slowly find that out.
My thing is, what I find weird is, like, because he comes from a powerful family, like, how did him going to these rock concerts? I'm surprised people are not just following him just because, like, you know, like paparazzi or whatever. Like,
so far, his picture is not out there. Remember, there's a scene, I think in like episode 3 or 4, where his grandma's like, okay, you know, you better be on point because I'm going to let the media know that you are going to be my successor.
Oh, I mean, like, they don't even know how he looks.
So his face is not really out there. He's not really well known, but he
Yeah.
still covers his tracks very well.
Yeah.
But I'm
Has
like,
this whole cave in his own apartment,
yeah,
which is crazy.
that's how much he has to hide it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just fun stuff. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
hurting anyone. And that's why Soo-jung's like, I don't get it, but oh well.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. Every time he walks in, you know what I find hilarious? Every time he walks into a bathroom, it's like, you know, when Superman goes into that phone booth
and it comes
like,
out.
and comes out in his gear, but this one comes out looking stupid as hell.
Yeah.
And it's a rock clothes.
Yeah, for instance, like when they got into that car accident, he was wearing his rock stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he was in a hurry to get to his grandmother.
Yeah.
Where did he change? Did he just go in the car and just...
I think he changed in the car, maybe.
Okay.
Because he came out, like he came out in his suit, right? So I think he changed in the car, or...
Yeah.
He's very serious
really good
about
at
hiding
this.
It could never be me. How funny was that episode when... And another thing about his personality, he hates the fact that, like, he likes sweet things.
What's that about? It's like, I understand the whole thing of...
Because, you know...
whatever, but it's like forcing himself to drink espressos. Like...
Because that's what CEOs drink.
Yeah.
You don't drink some frivolous latte
or
with
chocolate
whipped
milk.
cream or chocolate milk. You can't like sweet things. It's this crazy idea that has in his head. And it's hilarious to us because we're like, you could still be a competent CEO and still like desserts.
Literally.
Not that big of a deal.
But I really feel for him, right? Like, not being able to even eat the things you want, drink the things you want. It's just, that's exhausting.
It's very exhausting. And that's what she's seeing, right? She was just like, you cannot just be yourself. It must be tiring.
Yeah.
Because if it's one thing she believes in, she stands on business for everything.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I loved that when she was younger in high school.
Yeah.
And those two mean girls were trying to essentially like bully her, and how she stood up to them right away. I was like, oh, thank God. She does not take bullshit. She gives it to her coworkers, even her seniors. She's like, you're out of line. Like,
I think that was the first time.
She's so aggressive. I love it. And assertive.
That's the first time I've seen a person actually standing up to bullies.
Yeah, she doesn't
And
take
she didn't
anyone's
care.
She
Like-
does not take anyone's bullshit. I love that about her character.
Yeah.
My favorite scene so far was when he was on his way back to the office and he sees this limited edition collector's item toy situation and he fights the little kid for it.
And guess who's there? Suya.
She's
Sujung,
every
just there.
time.
Yeah.
Every time we get a glimpse of his real personality, every time his living his secret life or something that has to do with it, she just pops up. And that's why he's obsessed. He's like, she's dangerous. Like, I got to watch out for her.
Yeah, she's literally everywhere. Like, he's like, what the hell?
He's like, okay. He couldn't get that frappe looking drink that he wanted.
Yeah.
He couldn't buy the toy.
Yeah. Now,
She's always just catching him in the act.
he's probably like, what does this girl want from me?
Like, I mean, the way she even like discovered his den, right?
Yeah.
The amount of thought he put into finding an electrician that's not from his neighborhood, but not too far out.
Yeah.
And she shows up at his doorstep,
It happened to be her dad.
which is really dumb because the little light thingy that he got for his dungeon, his little playroom,
Yeah.
why didn't he just take it out of the playroom and put it in the living room for the electrician to fix it there? Like, why did he even have to expose his secret room to the electrician? Like, he's not thinking either.
Yeah, but first of all, he didn't expect it to be her.
Even if it's somebody else,
Yeah.
they have to walk through the entire
Yeah.
apartment to get to this secret playroom that you have. Why not just take the item and put it outside for them?
But that's the thing. Because he thought it was someone else from whatever, I don't think he cared for that person kind of to see,
Oh,
you know?
I get what you mean.
His little playroom. He didn't care. But when it
It's
was her,
just-
though, again, the way he flew there.
Ran out of that car real quick and then was like, it's my nephew's stuff. It's his room. And she's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, sure.
Sure, Betty.
Yeah. So now she knows pretty much everything. And he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Can we talk about her bestie and his bestie? I'm enjoying that storyline so much.
Oh my God. They are so like completely different from the main couple. Like they're just mature, they're sexy, they just
Yeah,
you
they're a
know,
little bit older than them,
yeah.
right?
The way, she's like, do you want to sleep with me? And he's like, we should. Like,
he's like,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
shall we?
Yeah. And then now he's literally obsessed with her
He
because he
is.
can't, because he's been a guy that, like he said, women always approach him. Women always say they love him first.
He's never really
Like,
had to pursue someone.
yeah, so he's literally so intrigued by her. It's like, I've never met a woman like this.
And the way he was so confident when he was like, I can't stop thinking about you. Do you want to go out with me? And she's like, no.
No, just a straight no.
Just simple. And he was like, is it because you're newly divorced? And she's like,
No.
if you need to believe that to make sense
Yeah.
of this, sure.
I love her.
But I'm just not really like in the mindset to date right now. She
is
just
that
opened a new
okay?
restaurant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she was like, I'm not feeling dating right now. And he just could not handle it of him being rejected.
Yeah. So now he's literally obsessed with her. Just
He is.
popping up, helping her out, go to the market, little things like that. It's like,
When that night that they first meet, he's actually on a date with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I am so glad she was cut from the get-go because her insecurity was starting to annoy me. That
Yeah.
was the second time. Do you remember the first time they're in a coffee shop and he's just being nice to the waitress and she's
Yeah.
watching from afar just to
Yeah.
see. And then she's like, I know you were overly polite. I know you were smiling too much. Like, do you have to do that? Like, she's so insecure. I mean, he's not even that good looking.
yeah. And then a scene when he was helping her. I think she dropped something and he was helping. It's like, he's just a man with manners.
With
I don't
manners, and she
understand.
hates that though.
Yeah.
And then when he took her to what's her bestie's name?
Hajin.
Hajin. When they went to Hajin's restaurant and he wanted to make her, wanted to buy her something delicious or whatnot, she sat there and she's like, it makes me feel this way when you talk to people. And then she's like, we should break up. And he was like, okay. And then she's shocked that he
Yeah.
agreed so easily. But I'm like, you're exhausting.
You are.
And he was like, I'm clearly, and she says, you're making me unhappy because I'm so jealous. I'm so insecure that I'm never, and he's like, I don't want you to be unhappy. So we should break up.
Yeah.
And I like that he stuck to that. So when she showed up at his house
Yeah.
to try to get back with him, he was like, no. He's like, nothing has changed.
Yeah,
Like,
because you have to go away to understand that, hey, I was tripping. This guy's just a nice human being. It's, you know.
But let's say that was a couple of days or even a week. I don't think that was enough time for her to do the inner work and realize and work on her self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're going to get back with this guy, but he's still going to be polite and smile at other women, and other women will approach him. You have to trust that he's not entertaining that.
And I love how Hajin said, it's like, did you cheat? He's like, no. She's like, okay, you're just being a nice person. It's like, she didn't get it either. Because
because it's weird.
It is
like,
very weird.
You can't smile at the opposite sex without triggering your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's an exhausting relationship. Glad that's over.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see how he gets with Hajin. Like, right now she's saying no, but they're spending a little bit more time together because they have found out that Soo-jung and Joo-yeon are each other's first loves. They just don't recognize each other in present day.
And they hate each other. So, yeah.
And they're like, it's going to be fireworks when they figure out, like, all hell's going to break loose because they genuinely hate that experience so much. Yeah. So now they're plotting to keep them apart.
Yeah, because they know it will be a disaster.
Exactly. But these two already like each other.
They do.
They spent the weekend away. Yes, it was for work, but...
Yeah.
And they kissed.
My whole thing with that, when they're staying at that
the farm?
Yeah. When they were kissing, the thing that came to my mind was like, oh my God, I hope the grandmother doesn't come out. Because remember, they said they're siblings. But that would have been so hilarious.
I thought that too.
I wish they did. So she was
yeah, because in the flashback, we see that he actually comes clean early in the morning to the grandma.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if she would have caught them, awkward, because it's like, that would have been shocking to see. But I like the fact that like he genuinely didn't remember, and now, because what brought on the whole kiss was her saying she doesn't see him as a man. She is not acknowledging the fact that like she might be kind of into him. So she's pushing those feelings away by saying, I don't even see him as a man. And he overhears that, and he's like, and I think that's what he was like, I'll show you.
Yeah.
But exactly like how he wanted to happen, they kiss, and she can't stop thinking about it.
She can't. And she's going crazy because she's like, why is he not bringing this up? Why aren't we talking about this? Like, you know?
Not realizing he doesn't even remember the kiss itself. But she's becoming obsessed with him.
That moment kind of, it made me look at him differently too. I was like, damn, he's kind of hot.
He had to step up and show her, like, I don't know what you take me for, but I am a man indeed.
He is. And that kiss was something. I was like, okay. I'm like, this is sexy.
You know what? People were triggered by that.
What do you mean?
They were like, oh my God, I don't understand. I don't believe it. She's so much older than him. Like, again, what we were talking about earlier, how they didn't believe that scene. And I'm just like, this is so dumb. They're actors.
I felt it. I was like,
he's not underage.
He's not.
A 6-year age gap. It's not that big of a deal.
And that's why I'm glad he's doing this role, because people need to start seeing him like, okay, he's not just going to do high school shows, right? Like, he is, yes, he's 23, but still. But yeah, I believed it. Was it not hot for you? Like,
you know what? For what it was cute. I wouldn't call it hot. I think it's cute. I think they could have better. They could have had a better first kiss, but it was to prove a point.
It was like kind of like a makeout.
No, it was like 2.5 seconds.
No, the lips were moving. It was so a makeout. That was a makeout.
Okay.
They weren't just pecking.
Okay.
It was.
I understand what you mean. It was a proper kiss.
It was a proper kiss.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
But
and you thought it was cute?
I thought it was cute. I didn't think it was hot.
It was hot.
I've seen hotter kisses.
I felt some things. it was like, okay. I did. It was good. It was a good kiss.
What do you mean the other couple had a hotter kiss?
Yeah. I mean,
they're going to get there eventually.
They are.
But this was enough to make Soo-jung spiral. And now she thinks of him as a man.
And the reason why she's spiraling is because she does have feelings for him.
Yeah, she thought of that as a confession, and he's not addressing it at all.
Yeah.
But
which I think also makes him even hotter to her as well. The fact that it's like,
she's obsessing over this.
Yeah, because now she's like, oh, is he a playboy? Like, oh, this is what he does? Just kisses girls and just, you know?
Oh yeah, she's fired up.
Yeah.
I love when she was taking it out on her door that she was hammering in her room, and her dad comes in. And he's just like, why are you doing work this late? Like, I'll fix it for you. And she's like, no, It needs to be done now.
Yeah.
Her dad is so adorable. I love
He is so
her
adorable.
dad and the brother.
Yeah.
Cute little family they have going on.
Yeah. They're so cute. Her brother just annoys the hell out of her. No matter how older he gets, he's just still the annoying little
Of
brother.
course. I feel like brothers never change in that sense. Like, you could be 50 and they'll still be annoying the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I did think, though, the dad falling off the stool was a little dramatic, that little fall needed surgery.
Yeah, when they said surgery, I was like, okay. I thought they were just going to wrap it up and just,
I thought it was a sprain, if anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, was the fall that bad that it needed surgery? Like, you see, I'm overthinking it now because I'm like, it was a little too dramatic, but it's okay because the director swoops in. Soo-yeon.
Yeah.
Is it Soo-yeon? Yeah.
Soo-jung.
Soo-jung.
Yeah.
Soo-jung rushes to the hospital, and the director's with her. He gets her a VIP room, gives her all this treatment because he genuinely likes her. She's not picking up on any of that.
Yeah. He's coming from a place of, I'm a director, I'm taking care of my employees.
Every time he does something for her because he likes her, he tries to like give a professional reason why he's doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't believe she's eating this up.
Yeah. And we also seen
for a very
sad-
smart woman, she's very dumb when it comes to this level of like generosity that he's showing her.
Yeah. And her being in the hospital brought back a lot of feelings of when she lost her mom because she was very sick and was in the hospital a lot.
Yeah.
So it was sad to see that.
I
but it was
know.
also, kind of.
But he wasn't going to die though, so.
What?
Her dad wasn't going to die.
No,
it's just that being in that scene and that setting
being in the hospital
kind of brought it all back for her. And he saw that, right? And he was just like, I saw you crying. And she's like, I wasn't crying.
And then I love that she told him why.
It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
First, I was like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's not that big of a deal, but.
Yeah, because he thought that she was crying because of her dad's situation. It's like, no. And she tells him why she was crying. It was because of her mom.
Yeah.
And she spent a lot of time in the hospital. But yeah, it was. I just love those type of scenes.
It doesn't exactly like it's not just comedy or like humorous all the time.
Yeah.
It's turning out to be like a very well-rounded show, and I love that. One of my favorite things at the beginning was all the reverse tropes.
What do you mean?
In the beginning when oh my god, I forgot his name again. When Hajin first meets his bestie,
Shinwon?
Yes.
Shinwon, yeah.
Outside, like a little scooter is going by, and she pulls. So he's the one that loses his footing, and she's the one that catches him.
Yeah.
Right.
I laughed so hard. Like, here we go.
It's right away, and it's kind of it was foreshadowing their relationship where he would be more invested, and she'd be like more of like the masculine role, and she's like, we can hook up, but I don't want to date.
I got you.
Where he hooked up once with her, and he's all like, be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was kind of cute. And then there was another one.
Oh, there's a time when Soo-jung and Yoo-yeon, they were out somewhere and they got into a little argument, and then I guess the waters were gonna come up, and then he kind of grabs. I love a good arm grab. Like, that's just
An arm and a spin.
Yeah.
An arm grab and a spin.
It is trope-tastic, and I love it.
Oh, I just remembered. The other one was, you know how normally there's always like this big shopping scene where the chaebol, like the guy, he's all like, I'll buy the whole store. This time he does take her shopping, but the whole montage, like the whole scene, is him trying on different outfits and coming out and showing her, and she's like, no, not that suit, not this suit. And then when he looks really good, she's like, speechless. Like,
and then he forced her, basically held her,
and then he was just like, here, you
event.
take this dress. But I thought it was fun to see that it was shopping, but more for him instead of the female like putting on 50,000 different outfits.
Yeah, and he was just blown away when she came down in that dress, like, and also that little thing that happened in the party. We also got to see another side of him when the guy was being
with
such
his
a
peers
dick to
and
her.
the people that he grew up with. And everybody knows that like he's kind of been just uptight, and he's always about like his education and getting ready to fulfill like his grandma's like position, and kind of just all he ever did was work towards being the successor of Jung, whatever the group is called.
I love to like seeing him give it to that guy as well, and even
because he was an asshole.
Yeah, even the other event when he literally splashed the drink on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
First he threw him in the pool, and then he splashed a drink in him. Second, I'm
Yeah.
like, when are you gonna learn
It's
your
like, why
lesson?
do you keep trying him?
Exactly.
Like, he does not play with you.
At all. And then he had to like, this was savage when he had to remind him, and he was like, did you not see your dad sucking up to me earlier?
Yeah.
I know your place. And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
That scene was so hot. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I didn't see him like that, right? And then it's like,
I'm like,
oh,
come
okay,
through.
Yeah.
Let him know what time it is.
Yeah, I really loved it. I love seeing just the different sides of him. You know, now we're seeing the playful side, and then he also has that super strong CEO side of him. So yeah, it's just such a fun show. I love it. I cannot wait to
It
see
is
where it goes.
even the scenes when they're at work
Yeah,
is fun.
it is.
The way they're always bickering, or sometimes they're agreeing hardcore, and the rest of the team's just looking at them like, did you not just hate him 5 minutes ago? Like,
Yeah.
and she's like, no, it's not so bad, actually.
Yeah.
You know, they really admire each other's work ethic. And
Yeah.
I think his secretary is starting to pick up
On something?
on something.
Oh, she could be a little messy. Do you
His
think?
secretary?
Yeah.
I think she was with him
Yeah,
from
I
when.
think also she is loyal to him.
Yeah.
But I feel like if the grandma asked her, hey, what's going on? Or,
I think she would cover for him. I don't know why. Maybe we actually saw this, but wasn't she his dad's secretary originally?
maybe.
And she's been with him since he
Yeah.
was young.
I think she will warn him, though. I don't think she'll snitch, but I think she will like
Yeah,
have a
like, this is so
conversation with
unlike
him.
you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know why you're here. Don't, I don't think your grandmother would like this kind of thing. How do you think it's going to go when the grandmother meets her?
I think she's gonna
Like, say he steps up and says, you know what, I don't care. I'm coming out. This is my woman. Like, I can't wait for that.
Well, obviously, it's K-drama.
Yeah.
The grandma's gonna give her an envelope full of cash and be like, disappear.
You think?
I think. No, his grandma's a bitch. She's just gonna be like,
Get out of here.
get out of here. I don't even think she's gonna give
Do you
her
want to
money.
lose your livelihood? Like, just
Basically.
disappear. Yeah.
She might resort to that because first, I think she's gonna emotionally try to terrorize her grandson first.
Yeah.
And try to take control of the situation that way. But I think he's working through his issues, and he might get to a place where he's like, I don't want to be your successor. He's definitely going to stand up to her.
Yeah, but I think in the beginning, I think he will kind of try to avoid her for a little bit.
I think we're already kind of seeing that, right?
Yeah.
Like in episode 6, he kind of like takes a step back from her, and he's like, I got to get back down to who I was. I've been kind of a little off my game lately.
And I think her love for him is going to grow more the more he kind of steps back, I feel like. So, yeah, I'm just so excited to see what the next 6 episodes brings. Like,
exactly. And they don't drag things out. Like it's very fast paced. They don't spend too much time on little things that might come up. So the preview, like at the end of episode 6, already showed that like, oh, the grandma's about to discover the playroom. Shit's about to hit the fan. Like, it's moving really, really well. And I love when a show does that.
Yeah.
But so far, this has been really fun. It's rom-comming. It's giving us everything that we want. The romance is there. The work dynamic issues are there. Like, the family bonds.
Drama.
Yeah. The friends, the storyline with, like, you know, the side characters.
I love this drama. Everything about it, like you said, giving us everything, and I cannot wait to see what the second half brings.
I know. I think it's going to continue the way it is. I don't think it. You never know, though. Honestly, it might go off the rails towards the last episode.
But it's so good. So I think it's going to finish strong.
Yeah, and it's not as like I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like I thought it was going to be more cheesy, but it's not. It's not as cheesy as I thought it was going to be.
I thought so too. And I'm like, thank God. Like I said, this is not my favorite genre out of all, but yeah,
it's a proper rom-com, and it's not cheesy at all.
Rom-com, I think, because it's mature. It's
Yeah, I think the workplace dynamic helps it a lot, but
it does.
It's just not as cheesy as I thought it was going to be because that gamified first episode kind of like threw me off. Happy that it's just your regular rom-com, and it's giving us all the good feels.
It is.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. Would love to know who is watching My Dearest Nemesis. There's 6 episodes out so far. If you're all caught up, let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as usual, give us a rating and a like if you enjoyed today's after show. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.